right, pull out those bingo cards. Who had a statist bureaucrat killing a pet squirrel for November? Don't you lie to me, absolutely no one. But this is where we are in the story now, and I can guarantee you this. We will end the Fed, and for the first time in history, it's actually on the table. You thought last week was crazy? Well, you ain't seen nothing yet, because believe it or not, Peanut and the greatest statesman in history may have just confirmed we're entering the golden age for Bitcoin. The man that taught you to end the Fed is about to be unleashed on the state. And all this could lead to 315K Bitcoin and a lot faster than you think. We're going to show you the math and Max Keiser's favorite indicator. I'm Rustin, head of news at Simply Bitcoin. And ladies and gentlemen, we are on the cusp of history and the greatest bull run mankind has ever seen. Send it! All right, now, if you were anything like me this weekend, you started here. Like, what the hell's going on? Something about a squirrel. But then you did what Bitcoiners do. You did the research. Yeah, not cool. They're killing the squirrels. I was right there with John Wick. They did what to Peanut? In case you missed it, once upon a time, there was an orphan squirrel. He was rescued and raised by a lovely family. Hundreds of thousands of people followed the story on social media. The story helped raise money to help other abandoned and abused animals. Then one day, a bunch of men who work for the state came in and killed the squirrel. The end. What is the moral of this story? I think a big moral is something along the lines of the state hates you. Satire. His name was Peanut. And they killed him, Joe. Killed him like a dog. These are sick people, Joe. They're sick people, and Peanut was totally innocent. But they killed him like it was nothing. What absolute clown world are we living in? Peanut the squirrel was not just a rescue squirrel. He was at the face of a nonprofit aimed at helping other animals in need. The New York state government didn't just kill a squirrel. They tried to kill a movement, and that's what the state does, right? We know all about that. I want you to take a look at that beautiful, sweet creature. This is what they took from us. If you're anything like the Bitcoin therapist, maybe this was the final straw. I think a lot of people are at this point. If you've had it up to here, if you just wanted a pet squirrel and came in to join the cause, well, I've got some good news for you. He's back. I don't know what timeline we transported to or how we broke the matrix, but it looks like we sure as hell did it. The Federal Reserve's greatest nemesis for decades, Ron Paul, is joining the party.
I was wondering, I saw that Elon had interacted with you on Twitter about your ideas for cutting. Would you ever be an advisor for him if Trump got in there and put Elon in charge of looking for wasteful spending? Would you help him if he asked you?
Oh, I would. Everybody would know what I believe, but I wouldn't want an official position.
Yeah.
Because I'm sort of steered away from getting too involved in the politics of it all right now. And I'm trying to approach this to try to get, especially the young people, because they've been open more so that I always say young people that were in high school and college when I was doing all the campaigning, I had a receptive audience. I said it wasn't like the Chamber of Commerce people. So I use that as a derogative thing. Chamber of Commerce people meant, the ones that have are lobbying Congress for more money.
Yes, that's right. The man who taught us to end the Fed is getting an opportunity at a revenge tour. And Vikingo is right. Listen to this.
I firmly believe now that our day is coming. The conditions are such that there is room now for the defense of liberty. The people know that the system we have is not working. It's not working economically. It's not working monetarily. Our foreign policy is not working. And therefore, they're looking for answers. They will not welcome us with open arms. We've found that out. But there is a vacuum out there. And the vacuum is not in one political party. It is pervasive. It's throughout the country. It is throughout the political system. But our views are just as pervasive. Ideas spread. They can't stop them. An idea whose time has come cannot be stopped by any army or any government.
I'm still 100% certain Ron Paul's Satoshi. And as he said above, there will be no question about where Ron stands on anything, and this is massive. Think about this crew for a second, and as Ron Paul said, an idea cannot be stopped. And it looks like its time is fucking now. and we are here for it. Now, I know a lot of us are here or started our journey toward Bitcoin from the Ron Paul movement, but there's some younger ones with us, and they may not know the man, the myth, the legend that is Ron Paul. I dropped a ton of highlight reels on my Twitter, but let's roll the greatest speech, arguably, ever. And after listening, you may understand the meme, all roads lead to Ron Paul was right.
What if our foreign policy of the past century is deeply flawed and has not served our national security interests? What if we wake up one day and realize that the terrorist threat is a predictable consequence of our meddling in the affairs of others and has nothing to do with us being free and prosperous? What if propping up repressive regimes in the Middle East endangers both the United States and Israel? What if occupying countries like Iraq and Afghanistan and bombing Pakistan is directly related to the hatred directed toward us? What if someday it dawns on us that losing over 5,000 American military personnel in the Middle East since 9/11 is not a fair trade-off for the loss of nearly 3,000 American citizens, no matter how many Iraqi, Pakistani, and Afghan people are killed or displaced? What if we finally decide that torture, even if called enhanced interrogation technique, is self-destructive and produces no useful information, and that contracting it out to a third world nation is just as evil? What if it is finally realized that war and military spending is always destructive to the economy? What if all wartime spending is paid for through the deceitful and evil process of inflating and borrowing? What if we finally see that wartime conditions always undermine personal liberty? What if conservatives who preach small government wake up and realize that our interventionist foreign policy provides the greatest incentive to expand the government? What if the American people woke up and understood that the official reasons for going to war are almost always based on lies and promoted by war propaganda in order to serve special interests? What if we as a nation came to realize that the quest for empire eventually destroys all great nations? What if a military draft is being planned for the wars that will spread if our foreign policy is not changed? What if the American people learn the truth, that our foreign policy has nothing to do with national security, that it never changes from one administration to the next? What if war and preparation for war is a racket serving the special interests? What if President Obama is completely wrong about Afghanistan and turns out worse than Iraq and Vietnam put together? What if Christianity actually teaches peace and not preventive wars of aggression? What if diplomacy is found to be superior to bombs and bribes in protecting America? What happens if my concerns are completely unfounded? Nothing. But what happens if my concerns are justified and ignored? Nothing good.
I think a lot of people are in denial about what is happening right now. Remember us talking about the revenge tour that Bitcoin allows you to go on personally. And then there's also, like on a macro scale, us as a society against authoritarianism. Well, I think it just got confirmed. And Orange Man's even doing this within his administration, unleashing people that have been right to go on their own personal revenge tours in a way. Like RFK said, this was his biggest initiative. Boom, go get it, brother. Elon said he wanted to cut $2 trillion, and then he says, I need the GOAT, Ron Paul. Bring him in, go get it. This is an amazing time, and we're not looking at the first possible Bitcoin president. We're looking at the first entire Bitcoin administration. And why? Because how did Saylor put it? They had a need to know.
Bitcoin insight is restricted to those with a need to know. When you have a need to know, when you have a crisis, if your country is in crisis, if your company is in crisis, if your family is in crisis, when the bank freezes and fails and the currency crashes and you have a business or you have a life and you're in that culture, you have a need to know, your eyes are open. Now you start to take Bitcoin seriously. Now you adopt Bitcoin. Trump has discovered Bitcoin. Trump has a need to know. Right? El Salvador, their currency crashed. They had a need to know. I think people in countries like Lebanon, right? They don't have a reliable banking system. They have a need to know. And I think Bitcoin is a great equalizer in that regard. The wealthy, affluent, comfortable won't have a need to know. They will be blind to it. And those who are disenfranchised, who are looking for a better future, they are the hopeful ones, but they're also the seekers, the searchers. They're going to look, they're going to find it. They are finding it. Hundreds of millions are finding it. They'll embrace it. They'll benefit from it. The rest of the world over time will discover it when they have a need to know.
Orange Man loves Orange Coin, and even more so than I think we could have imagined. He says it's money after learning the truth about the state that Ron Paul has educated us on for the past 50 years. Just look at this. Trump pro-Bitcoin, was attacked by the state. Tulsi Gabbard, attacked by the state, pro-Bitcoin. RFK Jr., attacked by the state, pro-Bitcoin. Ron Paul, attacked by the state, pro-Bitcoin. Probably Satoshi. Tucker Carlson, attacked by the state, pro-Bitcoin. It goes on, but really think about how far we've come and what really could lay before us. The God candle might just be one day away. And based on Max Keiser's favorite metric and Peanut's death at the hands of the state, we could be looking at something massive in 2025. This to me is really like a base case after we vote to end the Fed tomorrow. But before we bring it home, look at our likes.
I gotta pump those numbers up. Those are rookie numbers in this racket.
Hey, enjoying the show so far? Give us a like, subscribe, give us a pamp, and spread that sound money gospel as we take a moment to recognize our sponsors, the masters of Bitcoin self-sovereignty, the Bitcoin way. Guys, being that we live in clown world, it's pretty easy to understand the why Bitcoin, but over at the Bitcoin way, that's where you're going to learn how to Bitcoin. Check out their newly revamped website. If you're looking to become a master of Bitcoin self-custody, no one makes it easier. From setting up your first wallet node to inheritance planning to everything Bitcoin sovereignty, they got you covered. Hey, and if you're looking to get started, you can schedule a free 30-minute consultation with the Bitcoin way using that link in the show notes. Big finish time. All right, in case you guys didn't know, Max Keiser's favorite indicator is hash rate. And if we take a look at this, something major is about to happen to Bitcoin's price. 2021, Bitcoin price in November, 69K. The hash rate was 165 million terahash a second. Now, fast forward to today, and the Bitcoin price in November is 69K, and the hash rate in November 2024 is 755 million terahash a second. So let's see. If this is a leading indicator, we are looking at a hash-adjusted price of 315,727 cuckbucks in 2025. Valhalla or nothing, we're doing it for Peanut and for Fred too, damn it. Now again, that's the base case. You want the bull case? You can't handle the bull case. But if you think you can, check out this video and don't forget to get off your ass and vote for Bitcoin. We may only have one shot at this. Don't blow it. Hey, I love you guys. I'll catch you all next time. Peace.
If you prefer to go down with the ship, f*** you.